Hey there, welcome back. So in this video we will talk about methods a little bit more, and in here first of all we would be creating a method, and the method would be capable of calculating area of a rectangle, and we would be making use of the method. Alright, so let's get started. And first of all we would be making use of public keyword, public, then we will type in static. Moving forward we will type in void, and then finally we will type in the name of the method. And the name of the method could be like area of rectangle. Area rectangle seems to be a good name. Alright, so this is good. Now in order to calculate a area of rectangle, then definitely we would require two values, and these two values would be value of the length and value of the width of the rectangle. So these values, length and width of the rectangle, could be any number. It could be a floating point number as well, right? As a result, the parameters would be like double, and the name of the variable could be like length. Likewise, we will add in a yet another variable, and the name would be like width. So this seems to be good enough. This will simply print the value, which is nothing but the area of rectangle, right? Then we will type in sys out, and we will simply multiply length and width, right? So let us do that, length into width. So pretty simple, I suppose, right? And moving forward we can like pass in the value of length and width and calculate the area of rectangle. So let's do that. First of all we will add in a sys out statement and print one small little message. Area of rectangle with length equals to 5.4 maybe, and width 3.2 maybe, right? And in next line we will call an area rectangle method, and we will pass in the value as 5.4 and width as 3.2. So this seems to be good enough, and if we execute the program, then definitely we will get a proper and interesting output. So this is good. Now if in here we do one more thing, let me hit enter in here, and we try to call in this method directly from our sys out statement, then there would be an issue. Let me show you. For example, if we try to call in this area rectangle method directly, then there would be an issue, and if we check, then it will say the operator plus is undefined for the argument type string comma void. So little weird output, right? And the reason why we are getting this issue is pretty simple. The area rectangle method is simply displaying the value from the method itself, and it is not returning any value. And unless and until a method is returning a value, then only we would be able to print the information directly using system.out.println. So let us check a couple of more scenarios how we can make use of the return value and how we can store the information or display the information directly. Now friends, in our previous video we have discussed about parameters and this void keyword a little, but now let us discuss it in a greater detail. Now these values which are passed to this method, there is absolutely no restriction that which kind of value could be passed. We can pass a custom object, a complex object as well. Now what are objects? Don't worry about it. We will check object oriented concept later down the line, but remember this always, we can pass any information to a method. It could be double, it could be float, it could be int, it could be a custom object or anything. It could be an array for that matter of purpose. Again, array is something else which we will discuss later down the line. Alright, so first thing is cleared. We can pass any information and any number of information to a method. We can have 2 parameters, 3 parameters, or any number of parameters in a method. We can have no parameters in a method as well. Moving forward, we can also return information. This keyword void symbolizes that this method area rectangle is not returning any value. In fact, we are directly like printing the information on the console, but we can definitely return information. Now friends, we can return any information. In this case we are not returning anything, but we can return anything. It could be a array, it could be a int entity, float entity, or a custom object. We can return anything, but there is some significant difference. Unlike parameters where we can receive multiple entity, we can return only single entity. So there is a restriction, we can return only single entity. So let's return a double in here. Alright, so as soon as we update the method signature, Eclipse start complaining, right? It says this method must return a result of type double, right? So in here we will get rid of this system.out.println statement, and we will simply type in return, and our issue would be vanished. In fact, we can also get rid of this pair of parentheses, even that would work perfectly. Now this particular method is returning a information. Now which information it is returning? The information is definitely area of rectangle. Now for example, if we execute this program, then strangely we are not able to see the area of rectangle, right? Little strange, because whenever we are returning a information, then accepting it is an optional thing. In here we are not accepting the information which is returned by this method area rectangle. So how we can receive the information? Pretty simple. We will create a double variable. The name could be like area. Now we are receiving this information, and then finally we can print this information on our console by making use of system.out.println. So let us do that, and again our program will start executing perfectly. Alright, so this is good and this is cool stuff. Now finally, let us do one more thing. Let us comment out these two statements, and we will copy this particular line of code where we are making a call to area rectangle method, and we can directly print the value using system.out.println in here. And this time around we are not getting any issue, because definitely this particular method is returning some value to the system.out.println method. Alright, so now finally we will get a proper result, and the result is perfect. Definitely we will make some changes in order to show the result in a proper format, and here we go. So this is how we can deal with methods, and this is the story of the return type and parameters. Now definitely friends, we need to learn more about Java, where we will talk about more complex things, complex objects and complex data types, which would be interesting, and methods are really great.